Welcome back everyone to One Piece chapter 1043, and I have to say, this might be the hypest chapter we have gotten in the past year, and that's saying something. We had some intense moments with Sanji versus Queen, Zoro versus King, Kid and Law defeating Big Mom, but here we are. Oda has toppled himself yet again with this chapter. But before we talk about this chapter, you already know what I have to do. I have to give a massive thank you to everybody who recently subbed to this channel and everybody who has been subbed to this channel, because the last two videos I made had massive amounts of love and support, and just the likes, the comments, just everything about them was insane. I literally said thank you for 5,000 subs in those videos. And here we are, sitting at almost double that, at 8,000 subscribers, and I could not have done it without you guys. But I don't want to ramble on because I've been saying this for the past couple videos, but just know I am super thankful, and this channel wouldn't be anything without you guys. So let's get into the chapter. Alright, so I can already assume you've read the chapter, you saw that freaking last panel, and now you clicked on this video wondering what my reaction is to it. But before we get to that, I have to start from the beginning of the chapter, and then we will work our way onto the end, and we will discuss the possible theories and what I think about that panel. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. First up, we start off where we left off last time, with Kaido landing this death-dealing blow on Luffy. And you heard that right, I said death-dealing. This attack does not just knock Luffy unconscious, it flat out kills him. It shows it in the panel where you see the steam being released from him, and that's, you know, it's whatever, that happens every time he loses a fight. But something unique happens here. Not only does Oda shade out Luffy's eyes, like they're just shaded completely black. We have never seen that before. But Oda also draws silence around Luffy to further emphasize the drum beats we hear at the very end of the chapter. This silence is the sound of Luffy's heart not beating. I've seen a couple people give Kaido flack for not bashing Luffy's head in, but from his perspective and from our perspective, Luffy is dead. Kaido even stopped and stared at him for a while to make sure that Luffy would not flinch, would not move. And last time Kaido knocked him unconscious, Luffy's face was at least still tense. He was still shooting out his willpower amongst everybody around him. That is not the case right now. This is unprecedented. And you could see how angry Kaido gets when he turns and looks at that CP0 agent. I read two translations. One of them says, "You know what you've done." The other one says, "You know what's freaking coming." And with that being said, he coats his Kanabo in COC hockey. He didn't even need to do that. Let's be real here. A single hit would take him down, but he went the extra mile. He coated it in COC. The CP0 agent nodded his hat. He was like, he didn't even say a single word to this man. He's like, "Yep, I'm dead. I knew the mission and I completed it." And Kaido slaps this man so hard with that Kanabo, we do not even see it. Oda had to censor the panel itself by showing the lightning coming out from the top of Onigashima. Now the real question becomes, did the CP0 agent survive that attack? And personally, I think he did. I don't know how he did it because it would be an insurmountable feat to survive it, but I feel like he did. And the reason why is because 1, we do not have his name, 2, we have not seen his face, and 3, the last thing he said to Drake is a little bit sus. He looks at him and he says, "Hey, I envy your justice." We get the gist of it, but I feel like there's more depth to that Oda has not explored yet. And not to mention, every time we've seen the CP0 agent, he has been dealt with some pretty devastating blows, but he always comes back out of nowhere. When he was first introduced and he was chasing Robin, he was actually engulfed by Kazenbo, Kanjuro's fire demon. And him and Maha were a-okay in the next panel. They had no burn marks on them, no damage whatsoever, and they explicitly showed that everybody else who went into that fire demon was scorched alive. But how did they survive? And then last chapter, we had him stabbed in the back by Drake, and then somehow, in that same chapter, he made it to the rooftop. I feel like this guy has some crazy regenerative abilities, and I feel like that might even be a part of the reason why Oda has not shown us what he looks like without that mask. That may sound like a crazy theory, but I do feel like something suspicious is going on with CP0, and that's furthered by when you see his fellow agent's reaction. He looks out the window, he doesn't say a single word, and then we cut to his face and he's stoic. He does not care that his fellow agent just got dealt a death-dealing blow as well. And the thing is that when Maha got attacked, the other agent, he was like, "Oh my gosh, like I cannot believe this happened to you." But this guy doesn't care. It's either 1, he has no emotions, or 2, he knows that the agent upstairs will be a-okay. Alright, so moving on, we have some nice character development from Kawamatsu. Even though he only has a couple things to say, he kind of mimics and parallels what Usopp said a couple chapters back to Kinemon and Okiku, that there is no such thing as an honorable death when you can survive. He looks at the samurai burning alive in the castle and he's like, hey, try to get out of here. There is nothing honorable about perishing to these flames. And then he actually goes on to say something else as well. He says, whoa, I wish we were not on Onigashima. I wish we were not on this floating rock right now because there's no water to put out the fire. Naturally, this is something people would say in this scenario, but the fact that multiple people have been saying this in the past couple chapters makes it seem a little bit suspicious. Like, instead of the fire, maybe they're thirsty. Or maybe this is Oda foreshadowing Luffy's potential abilities once he awakens. And I'm not saying Luffy's gonna shoot water out of his hands like Aquaman. I'm saying, what if Luffy's ability may have some technique to put out these flames? Like maybe if it's resin, he can coat all the flames with his resin. Maybe if he actually is Sun Wukong, he can, like, you know, twirl his staff and get rid of all the fire by blowing it away. If somebody doesn't put these flames out very soon, then we're gonna have a lot of problems on our hands. We don't even have to worry about Kaido dropping Onigashima because the fire will kill everybody already. So after Kawamatsu's time to shine, we have Kaido coming down from the rooftop and announcing that Straw Hat Luffy, Mugiwara no Luffy, is dead. He chose those words specifically and he meant them. And if you have any more doubt that Luffy is dead, you have Law further confirming it, saying, ah yes, Mugiwara's voice, it's gone. And then further up in the chapter, you also had Momonosuke confirming that Luffy's voice has disappeared. This isn't observation haki. This is something beyond that. They're seeing past observation haki, and that just confirms that Luffy is gone. And you see everybody's reaction. You see Kid a little bit mad about that. You see Law saying, ah, dang, we're all screwed now. And then you see Nami, Chopper, and Tama's reaction, and they are heartbroken. They cannot believe it. Nami actually calls Kaido a liar, and Kaido, without hesitation, declares that she has guts, and he shoots a Bodo freaking breath at her. But thankfully, Nami got lucky because Marco is in the close vicinity and he saves her from that Bodo breath. And the thing is, no shade to Nami, but if that Bodo breath landed, I do not know if she would make it out alive. That Bodo breath burnt Gear 4th Luffy to a crisp. It destroyed a mountain, and now we have Yonko Commander Marco tanking that attack, and he is not looking too good. So after Marco tanks that attack, he turns and looks at Nami and he says, hey, do not lose hope. We have to fight him until the bitter end. And I love this because beforehand we had, we had the Scabbards versus Kaido, we had the Worst Generation versus Kaido, we had Luffy versus Kaido, we even had Yamato and Momonosuke versus Kaido. And now we have everyone versus Kaido. If I did not know any better, if I just got into One Piece, I would think that Kaido is the final villain based off of how many people it needs to take him down. One thing is for certain though, we are in for an epic clash next chapter with everybody storming in from all angles, fighting Kaido like he's Thanos from the endgame. But we also have to consider the possibility that Trafalgar Law might defeat Kaido with one more final attack. Yo, I swear, Law could not even defend himself in this chapter. We had some cannon fodder going after him and Kid, and then his crewmates had to protect them. If Law pulls out his awakening one more dang time, I will not believe it. Wait, actually, is it a bad thing that I might actually believe it? It's been such a common meme now that I almost feel like Law will say, okay, here we go. Time to activate Kroom one more time. Oh boy. And now, with everyone picking up their arms to fight Kaido one last time, he goes off on an insane rant and threat about how he's gonna make everybody in Wano's lives a living hell. He's gonna enslave women, he's gonna enslave children, he's gonna turn weapon factories up 24/7. He is not going to be as nice as Orochi. He says that himself. And there's some weird part of me that feels like the reason he's saying this is because he wants to inspire people to fight him. He wants the samurai to stand up and to give him a final showdown. He was robbed of his prideful victories against Luffy, against Oden, and now he just wants somebody to stand up and carry on that will and to fight him. And I know it sounds like I'm assuming a lot, but if you don't believe me, believe in Yamato, because after Kaido goes on that rant, we switch over to Yamato and Momonosuke, where Momonosuke is actually considering surrendering to Kaido. And then Yamato starts yelling at him saying, wait, what are you thinking of? If you surrender to Kaido, you are going to be enslaved for the rest of your life. There is no life to live if you surrender. You have to fight. That is the samurai way. There is so much more to this fight than just surrendering. Surrendering won't save anyone. You have to fight. Kaido must be exhausted from all of his battles. And here's the thing. If this came from anybody else, I would say, oh, they're just trying to hype up Momonosuke. They're trying to gas him up into fighting Kaido one more time. But no, it's coming from Yamato, the daughter, the son of Kaido. And here's the thing, right? Because Yamato, to some extent, must know what Kaido is looking for. And Yamato's reasoning is, hey, if somebody says they're going to enslave you and your family, instead of giving up, you need to fight. You have to fight that. And to some extent, I feel like that is why Kaido went on that rant. That is why Kaido is actively trying to be a bad guy. He wants somebody to fight him and to take him down. I've always liked Yamato's character, but I've never loved Yamato's character more than right now in this chapter, because she goes on and she says, hey, Momonosuke, do not forget, there is 20 years of history riding on this fight. So many daimyos have regretted not standing up to Kaido when they had the chance, and now you have the chance. And if you think we're gonna die by fighting him, then let's die together. And then just like that, all of the doubts in Momonosuke's eyes, his cowardness is all gone. I promise you guys, next chapter is going to be breathtaking. We're going to see so many characters standing up one last time to fight Kaido and to take him down. Beforehand, they were all relying on Luffy, but now that Luffy is seemingly gone, they have to pull out whatever they have in the reserves to take on Kaido, and it's going to be amazing. And now, with all hope seemingly lost, there is an eerie silence on top of Onigashima, but then you hear it. You hear Luffy's heartbeat restart. And the first person to notice this is Zunisha, who calls out to Momonosuke, Momonosuke-sama, I can hear it. I can hear the drums of liberation, the sound I have not heard in 800 years. Joyboy is here. And then we cut to that final panel, Luffy smiling, seemingly melting and turning into steam, and his laugh has changed. What the heck is happening here? So first up, the drums of liberation. When I read the spoilers, I thought the drums, call me an idiot, I thought the drums were actually somebody playing the drums, maybe even Luffy and his Zoan Devil Fruit playing the drums, but that is not the case. It turns out the drums of liberation, as I'm sure 99% of you have guessed, is his actual heartbeat. To hear the heartbeat, you most likely need the voice of all things, which is why Zunisha picked it up first. But now I'm curious if Momonosuke or even Law will hear it as well. And from Momonosuke's perspective, he's talking to Zunisha, so he knows what's happening. But imagine Law's confusion, right? They're all fighting Kaido, he's pulling out like 2 more final attacks, and then all of a sudden he's like, wait, like what is that voice up there? What is that drum beat? That's not Luffy, who is that? That would further confirm that Luffy is no longer the Luffy we know and love. And I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because that last panel is so ominous in a way. Because last time we saw Luffy, his eyes were shaded out. You had silence, no heartbeat to be found. And now you have Luffy smiling. He's smiling, his laugh has changed. Is this really Luffy? Alright, so now we're going to discuss the 3 most talked about predictions as to what is happening with Luffy right now. So first up, we have the resin fruit. This is a common one going around. Resin is kind of a viscous liquid, which falls in line with what we see happening to Luffy in that final panel. Not to mention, resin would also work with all of his previous abilities, because he could stretch and boom, it's resin. He could punch, boom, it's resin. Gear 4th, it's really hard but soft, boom, it is also resin. And now the second possibility is the mythical Zoan Devil Fruit of Sun Wukong. And I like this theory a lot, personally, because a hybrid form Luffy would be so freaking cool. Also, a lot of Sun Wukong's abilities kind of fall in line with Luffy's abilities as well. I mean, Sun Wukong in general, if you have read the mythology, is very, very loose. He has so many abilities, which might be broken for Luffy, but if Oda keeps it within a certain context, like, oh, he's just kind of stretchy, he can do certain things with steam, then it would be very balanced. And let's be real here, who would not want a hybrid form Luffy? And also, one more thing too, to support this theory, is that if Luffy awakens with this Zoan Devil Fruit, it would make sense as to why he is smiling in that final page, because not only did he survive death, But if he's an awakened Zoan, he probably has crazy regenerative abilities, and he's probably feeling really good right now. So now, last but not least, the third theory. This one is kind of conflicting. This one is throwing the fan base in peril. But the third possibility is that Luffy has actually died to some extent, and Joyboy has been reincarnated within Luffy. Alright, so this theory is a rough one, and the main reason I say that is because people do not like the god complex of, oh, Luffy was always the chosen one. It's like when Naruto was all of a sudden confronted by Hagoromo, and it's like, hey Naruto, you are chosen, you're a descendant of all these other people, and now you have these special sun powers. Like, it's kind of out of nowhere, and we do not really want that for Luffy. But at the same time, if Oda pulls it off well, if Oda does not make Joyboy broken, then this could play out very well. And the reason I say this is because this doesn't take away from any of Luffy's feat beforehand. Luffy did not get strong because he had this crazy Joyboy spirit within him. Luffy still, in my opinion, earned all of the fights he won. He still trained really hard to get where he was. If anybody else had Joyboy, if anybody else had his unique devil fruit, they would not made it as far as Luffy did. But that's just my personal opinion. But next up, as to why he might be Joyboy. First off, like I said, his laugh has changed. It's no longer the iconic laugh that Luffy has, which I am not gonna mimic right here. It will look ridiculous. It has actually changed to Nika. And he's also smiling. There's so many things pointing towards a different personality. And one more thing to back up my claim is that Luffy has met Zunisha. Luffy was on Zunisha's back at one point, but not once did Zunisha say, oh wow, it's the drums of liberation up there, what's going on? That's not the case. Zunisha just now said it as Luffy passed and as Joyboy potentially was reincarnated. But now the real question becomes, how did Luffy get Joyboy within him? Because I doubt Luffy is Joyboy's descendant, but it may have something to do with the will of D. Or on the opposite spectrum, this could deal with Luffy's devil fruit. Maybe Luffy's devil fruit was Joyboy's devil fruit. Or another thing I could throw out there is that if it is a Zoan devil fruit, maybe his Zoan form is Joyboy. Also, one more thing, I stopped recording, but I had to turn it back on because I missed one vital point, and it has to do with the thumbnail of the video. As you might tell, Sun God Nika is the thumbnail, and the reason why is because I believe that Joyboy is Sun God Nika. It's not a big stretch. I know a lot of people kind of put that together already, but if you needed proof, the proof is in the laugh. Luffy's laugh at the very end is Nika Nika, which, you know, falls in terms with Sun God Nika, and that's the common trope that a lot of characters in One Piece have, so you can easily make that connection. So see you later, guys. Alright, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video up until this point. If you have, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, because it really does make a difference to me. Like, I would have never gotten this far if it wasn't for you guys. And I know I say this a lot, but I really do read every single comment you guys write to me. And at this point, I feel like Joyboy because of how happy I am by how many positive comments I've been getting recently, and it really does mean a lot, man. So now that the video is over, I'm gonna take a quick second to shill all of my stuff. But before we do that, there is a break next week. No chapter, no spoilers, no nothing next week. And that is going to be grueling to get through. But if you guys recently subbed and you're wondering what kind of content I do in between, I usually find really cool Reddit threads and I just make a discussion video talking about it, reading some of the comments that people leave. It's a nice little fun community activity. So if you guys have any Reddit threads or any theories you want me to talk about, address me below, like directly. Say, hey, Sai, talk about this. Hey, Sai, check this link out. And I will check it out because I'm needing the content, man. So yeah, I upload daily. Stay tuned for that. You don't have to watch it, but if you do, I really appreciate your face. And now, the shilling is beginning. First up, we have a Discord down below, which I will link. And we're just there, we're hanging out. We're not always serious, we're not always about One Piece, so check that out if you want to. And also, I live stream on Twitch. I play Elden Ring a lot. That's the main game I've been playing. If you want to see me die, if you just want to hang out with me and see what I'm like outside of these videos, come check that out as well. I have a Twitter. I do not seem like a person that would have a Twitter. I don't post regularly, but if you want to follow that and make me, you know, a One Piece person, then go for it. I also have an Instagram. I post tattoos there, which I also got a pretty cool tattoo today, which for some reason looks like Kaido, so check that out too. Link down below. And last but not least, thank you guys for this video. I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I have a second channel where I post almost nothing on it, but I swear to you, I'm gonna be posting some gameplay highlights from my Twitch. So if you're interested in that aspect of me, follow me there as well, and I would really freaking appreciate it. If you don't want to, that is fine. I understand how weird shilling is, because whenever I watch a YouTube video, 99% of the time I don't follow them, but some people I do, and if I'm that person for you, then I would really appreciate it. So, I mean, honestly though, your view and your sub and all that stuff, it means a lot. And if this video even gets a fraction of what I got last time, I would be more than happy. As long as even 10 people are watching these videos, I will be more than happy. So, with that being said, my name is Sai, and thank you guys for everything. Peace out.